past, Pakistan used to rely on talented youngsters instead of proven domestic performers. But they used to struggle in broad conditions like Australia. But this time around, they selected domestic performers, and they did quite well in Australia. So, what would be your preference, like selecting talented youngsters in the test team or proven domestic performers?
Look, I think that's a conversation for the selectors to debate. If someone's, I've always said, if someone's good enough, they're old enough. And having said that as well, if someone's performing really strongly and absolutely banging the door down with performances at domestic level, then they'll be in the conversation for selection. But ultimately, selection comes down to what the needs of the team are, again, in the conditions against the opposition, and finding the best balanced side to have an impact in that game. So that's where we'll be selecting the sides based on how can we win that test match or that series, and we'll select accordingly to conditions and opposition.
Jason, you played your last test match against Bangladesh 18 years back and scored that famous 100 as a night watchman, and now after 18 years you are going to coach an international side against Bangladesh in a test match. So how you are seeing that, and some memories from that innings, because you are the only player who never represented his country again after scoring that double 100.
Yeah, and I'm still a bit grumpy at the selectors for that. No, look, it was just one of those things that happened. I was very fortunate to have the career I had. I'm very grateful, very thankful every day for the 10 years I played Test cricket. Coming up against Bangladesh, yeah, look, it'll be, my focus will be on how Pakistan can play well against Bangladesh. I'm not going to be dwelling on my last test match or anything like that as a player. But look, certainly nice memories, no doubt about that. But my focus and energy is on Pakistan and how we can have an impact against Bangladesh, who are a very good cricket team. So we need to make sure that we're playing well, we prepare well, we do our research on the opposition, and identify strategies for us to be able to have an impact against them. So looking forward to that. That'll be my first test match in charge, and I'm really looking forward to that.
This is the first time that Pakistan have gone for split coaching with separate coaches
Yep.
for red ball and white ball. So have you had any conversations with Gary Kirsten, or have you had any coordination with him over tactics or anything else?
Yeah, look, I have spoken to Gaz, and we've had a couple of really good conversations. And a lot of it's revolving, I suppose, around, because the international schedule gets so busy, as well as players going and having opportunities to experience different leagues around the world. It's about managing those players as best we can, and particularly the guys who are playing multi-formats. So you've got the test and guys are playing test cricket, one-day cricket and T20 cricket. Gary and I have spoken about how can we best utilise those players so that they're at their very best for Pakistan in all the formats. So that will form a lot of the basis of our communication. But ultimately, from you mentioned tactical point of view, Test cricket's a little bit different to the one days and T20. That's Gary's role to look after the white ball sides, and I'll allow him to do that. If he wants to ask me a question or seek me out for anything, of course I'll share any advice. But ultimately, that's his role, and I respect that. And but I'm really looking forward to working with him, because our job is to work together for the betterment of Pakistan cricket, and that's what we're both energised about. That's what we're excited about. Was that?
Jason, Pakistan's last test season was horrible. They couldn't manage to win a single series on home conditions. So what major steps do you think that needed to be taken to brought back Pakistan test team on the side? And Pakistan will be playing 7 tests in their home condition. Pakistan have spinning conditions. Abrar, if you have worked on it, Abrar Ahmed is the one who looks to be in the playing 11. Who is the other spinner who do you think will gonna make it in the squad? Because later on, Naman was playing, is already 42. So is somebody youngster who's gonna take a chance, or do you have any 2 to 3 spinners who you think will gonna serve Pakistan team in the coming time?
Oh, look, we've got any number of spin bowling options. As selectors, we'll sit down and have a look at all those options, and again, we'll look at conditions. We want, with the conditions in Pakistan, we want an even contest with bat and ball. And if we can have those surfaces there, that'll give us the best chance to play the best cricket we possibly can. So yeah, as for individual selections, we'll sit down as a selection group and go through that. We've got some training camps, we've got some games, which we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to going on this tour with the Shaheens to Australia to have a look at some players that I'm not overly familiar with, just to see how they go in different conditions against different opposition. And then when it gets closer to the time, those Bangladesh Test matches, we'll see what surfaces we're going to be playing on, and we'll pick our squads accordingly.
What are your goals and objectives as the new head coach of Pakistan men's cricket team?
Yeah, I've been asked that a little bit, to be honest, and ultimately we want to win games of Test cricket. There is a World Test Championship, and while it's obviously a challenge, it's got to be a goal. There's nothing wrong with reaching for the stars and saying you want to win trophies and you want to win stuff, and that's cool. But we know that there's a process involved in achieving that, and it's going to be a lot of hard work. It's going to be a lot of discipline. It's going to be a lot of patience. But I believe that we've got the players to be able to do it. We just need to go out there and play as consistent a Test cricket as we possibly can, hang in games for as long as possible, and then strike when the moment's right to really drive those games forward. They'll be big on that. So, really looking forward to seeing how the players respond. But, there's obviously, some very skillful cricketers here. How can we play as a team and perform well against good quality international opposition? That's going to be the key for us.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, this is Zubair from Express News. First of all, you are very welcome over here for your new assignment, and I have the best wishes.
Thank you.
Question is, Asif, he just asked about the fitness of players,
Yep.
and I think that no one knows better than you about the fitness issues. So,
Are you talking injuries or fitness?
yeah, all right. So, you just reached in the morning in Karachi, and you know the weather conditions over here. So, what do you think that weather condition will impact on the training camp? Because especially fast bowlers, they have the facing of fitness issues. And second part of my question is, everybody's focusing on the Champions Trophy, especially they are thinking about the Pakistan and India match. So, do you think that our players, they have to focus on the cricket, or they have to focus on the India? Thank you.
Not quite sure how to answer that. I mean, you talk about fitness. Look, that's again, it's a given for me. We'll get the players will be fit and robust and strong. We know that it's a massive thing for world cricket, massive thing for Pakistan cricket to have the Champions Trophy here in Pakistan, and I'm really excited for for the country for that, and I hope we can put on a really good show for the world. As for me, I've just got to control what I can and focus on the Test cricket that we've got coming up. We've got Test series against Bangladesh, against England, against South Africa and the West Indies. So we've got 9 Test matches, and if we play well in those Test series, we give ourselves a good chance